Yeah, what's up, man? It's a Triple B, the base boxing basement here again. Remember to like to keep the haters away. So, yeah, I've been trying to pump out some videos because I had a time when I didn't put a lot out, And I was lying there one night and I thought, how can I be more like a Ricky Hatton, you know, and charge funds £1,000 to watch me spar? But and I realized, I've got to lift my game. I got to do it for the funds and put up more videos, and I did. So the latest announcement is right. The latest announcement is David Benavidez, okay, is gonna fight Anthony Yarde for the world title in November. It's not a bad fight. It's not a terrible fight at all. Now, David Benavidez is yet another example of, the American obsession with Latino fighters, especially in the higher divisions like that bum Zerda Ramirez, who J.O. Pataya would put to sleep for years if they fought. But the reason, they love to push these Hispanic fighters, especially Mexican. Although Benavidez is half Ecuadorian, half Mexican, but because in terms of percentage, there's a large percentage, right, of Latino Mexican fans who will get robbed $80 for a pay-per-view, including something like Canelo Williams Skull, which is one of the worst fights I've ever seen, man. Like I said, I've been watching paint dry, and it was more interesting than Canelo Williams Skull. Benavidez Yarde, it's a decent enough fight. I mean, Benavidez, I underrated him. I thought he was going to get beat in his last fight with David Morrell, or whatever his name was. But I don't know, it seemed a bit like a stitch-up, because Morrell didn't really try, and he did not box to his ability. And he lost to Benavidez. Benavidez has work rate. He's got half-decent power. He's got determination, and decent boxing skills. I don't think he's that amazing. And Anthony Yarde, well, the problem is Anthony Yarde has boxed, at a high level. He's boxed decent fighters. Do you know what I'm saying? He's boxed decent fighters. And the thing, although he has boxed decent fighters, he's never beaten anyone half decent, Anthony Yarde. He can punch. He's got that PED body. I don't know. I'm sure because he's never failed a test. He's never done PED. But, who's he beating? Yeah. I'm going through his record. I'm like, I can't see anything. Lyndon Arthur. Even Lyndon Arthur. He's not a bum. He's Sonny Edwards' boyfriend, Sonny loves Lyndon, because Lyndon is protects him. He's his bodyguard, because Lyndon doesn't weigh 8 stone. Apparently Lyndon, right, found some guy trying to break into his car and gave him a slap and gave him a talking to. Now I respect that. Good. Well done, man. But going through Lyndon Arthur's Anthony Yarde's record, I cannot find a single decent win. His last win was against Lyndon Arthur, the trilogy. After losing on points, after stopping him in 4 rounds, it was another 12-rounder. I mean, come on, man. Lyndon Arthur. Tough guy, no doubt, but not a world-class guy, And I'm scrolling through, right, Anthony Yarde's record. And there's not one single world-class win. He did okay against world-class guys. Kovalev, he fought. Alcoholic, drunk, punch-drunk Kovalev. And he hurt him, but he got knocked out by a jab in 11 rounds. Lindenarth beat him, as I say. He fought Artur Beterbiev. And there's this story. The problem is with, media and normies is, they believe the narrative. And the official narrative is, Anthony Yarde was doing so well against Beterbiev. He was right in there. He was hurting him. No, he wasn't, man. He got waxed in 8 rounds. Beterbiev was never hurt. I remember watching that fight live, and I'm just thinking, well, it's just a matter of time until Beterbiev catches up with him and stops him. And I was right. And he stopped him in 8. Now, Beterbiev was also 38 at the time, excuse me, which is quite old. And since then, he's beaten a bunch of bums, including going the distance with Lyndon Arthur again. So, I don't even know why he deserves, right? He even deserves yet another shot at the world title. He's fought Kovalev, knocked him out. He fought Beterbiev, who also knocked him out. He lost to Lyndon Arthur, who's British level at best. Tough, but British level. And there's no one else. I go for his entire record. And he has not beaten anyone world class, ever. Why does he carry on getting these shots and these big paydays? Well, that's boxing. The truth is that's boxing. Boxing's corrupt. And, they'll sell this as, you got Anthony Yarde with a huge KO percentage, and he's dangerous. And he almost beat Beterbiev, which he didn't even get close to beating. He almost beat Kovalev. He did actually hurt Kovalev, but he still swallowed it from a jab and got knocked out. Why does this... he's not a bum. Why does this guy continue getting top-level fights? Well, it's all about links, networks. It's like at work, right? If you've ever been in work, right, and there's someone who's utterly incompetent, who's completely useless, but their friend looked after them and recruited them, which is a crazy move, because if you're talking about business, and it's your own business, you don't want someone incompetent working for you. But I don't, let's say you're working for a big company and you're middle management, and you think, I'd really like to see my pal. I'd really like to work with my pal because we have a great time, and they lie to themselves. He's got loads of experience with digital marketing, so let's take him on. I used to work for some of the biggest companies in the world. No joke. And the level of incompetence and uselessness of some of these people was absolutely shocking. It's kind of nuts. You go for one interview or 2 interviews for an hour max, and you get the job off the back of that and your CV, and CVs are deceptive. You know what I'm saying? It's and that's what that is how I compare Anthony Yarde to. He's a guy, right, who someone has looked after, is his mate, as someone who's exaggerated, right? His CV. I mean, I tell you, go to BoxRec and look at his CV and see if he's beaten anyone half decent. He's knocked out a few guys and beaten a few guys that are okay, but they're like area level. They're like British level. He's never beaten a world-class fighter. And here he does. He gets a chance against Benavidez, which is going to get him a huge payday. And also his bum trainer, that complete clown, Tunde Ajayi, who I used to watch at amateur shows. He used to hang around like a dirty smell, like a dirty smell. And both fighters, let's say, he was fighting, he brown-nosed both of them. But the one who won, he'd go up to him afterwards, slap him on the back, say, well done, try and give him some advice on how to box going forward. He's a fraud. He's a charlatan. He's ugly. He has a low IQ. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being mean. It's just like, you got to speak the truth. Truth is the most important thing in life. Truth is the most important thing in life. Then you don't get, lied to. You don't believe nonsense. You don't get pushed down the wrong path. Truth is the most important thing in life. And that's why I'm red-pilled. Because the truth pill came to me. So, Yarde is going to fight, allegedly, David Benavidez. Now, Benavidez, I underrated him. And that was my mistake. I underrated him. I thought David Morrell would beat him. But then again, David Morrell didn't seem to try. Even at the end of the fight, he's sitting there like slapping Benavidez on the back like, oh, thanks so much for the payday. Now I've got the payday, I don't think he is the most... I don't think he's a pound-for-pound fighter, even though pound-for-pound is a silliness anyway. Because if pound-for-pound was real, then everyone would be like a heavyweight. Because pound-for-pound is just like speculation, right? But he's beaten Caleb Plant on points. He stopped Demetrius Andrade, Alexander Grodchik, he beat on points. David Morrell, he beat on points. Anthony Durrell, he stopped. Jaleon Love, he stopped. Jaleon, imagine that. I don't know what's wrong with his mother, but imagine spelling your child's name J apostrophe Leon. Why do ghetto people put apostrophes into their name and think that it sounds impressive? It's pathetic, man. But as I said, with Benavidez, I underrated him against Morrell. Again, I'm slightly suspicious about that fight, but he is way too good for Yarde. Yarde can punch, I'll give him that, but at what level? At what level? It's easy to bang out, area, British level bums. But to knock out world-class fighters who can really fight is a very different kettle of fish. So, in my opinion, Benavidez, he'll obviously beat Yarde. The question is, does he stop him? Benavidez has a very good KO ratio. 24 KOs in 30 fights. That's 80%. But having said that, he's also gone the distance with quite a lot of decent fighters. Grodchik, Caleb Plant, this kind of thing. David Morrell, So sometimes you get guys that can punch, but they can't punch at world level. In this case, what impresses me about Benavidez is his work rate and what would you say, his punch, his diversity of punch. He's got very diverse quality of punches backing him. So I think with Yarde, I think he'll stop him late, and Yarde will probably put up a good fight. He's got heart. He's not a pussy hole. You know what I mean? He's got heart. He's not a pussy hole. But he's strictly a British level fighter. And they're throwing him against one of the alleged pound-for-pound fighters. I'd love to be Yarde. He's fought some of these top fighters and earned millions, when really he's only a British level fighter who lost to Lyndon Arthur. Yeah. But good luck to him, man. I'm not hating on him at all. Good. Make the money. But he will get beaten up by Benavidez. I would imagine Benavidez will stop him in the later rounds, like round 10, something like that. And everyone will also say, oh, Anthony Yarde was so brave. It's like against the Beterbiev fight. Everyone was going, oh, he gave him such a good fight. Well, he didn't. He never hurt Beterbiev. He was never going to win that fight. Yeah, he landed some shots, and he had guts, and he tried. But, the way they reinvent these stories, oh, it was such a war with Beterbiev. He almost beat him. No, he didn't, man. He got hiding. He won a couple of rounds. The media is so manipulative and so full of shit. So I think Yarde, good luck to him. He will get the payday, and that's the main thing. Unfortunately, he's a bum of a trainer, Tunde Ajayi. One of the biggest charlatans and frauds in boxing. He's going to would have made a lot of money out of Yarde, for the Kovalev-Beterbiev fight and this fight, Benavidez fight. But he doesn't deserve it. Why? Well, because he's an absolute bum. He's clueless. He's greasy. He sidles up to people. And whispers in their ear, and the stupid ones believe his nonsense. He's a bum. But, as a fight, it's okay. But I don't expect much more than a Benavidez stoppage late rounds. Peace in the Middle East.